Welcome to this explanation of how you can make your own tabs for a Ning network. I often get the question of how can I can change the different tabs in the menu of my Ning network, and I will explain you this in this screencast, giving you 5 different tips. So tip number 1 is you can make your own tabs. You can make new tabs. And how you do this is by clicking on My Network, on Manage. And then you will see your own dashboard. And in your dashboard, if you want to work with tabs, you always go to Tab Manager. So you click on Tab Manager and you will see that you can add new tabs. So you click on Add New Tab. And you can choose a name for your tab. So let's say you would like to make a tab with more news. And okay, this is the new tab, and you would like to show it before the participants. And you would like another tab called members. And you click on Save Tab Settings. And you see you've now created 2 new tabs, More News and Members. So this is the way how you can very easily create new tabs. So tip number 2 is try to limit the maximum number of tabs to one single line in your main menu. You should remember that your participants don't see My Network or Manage. That's a tab that you and the administrators only see. But still, this would be too long. So what we do is we click on My Network, and we can make some of the tabs into subtabs. For instance, let's say we would like the Members tab. We make this a subtab, and we would like it to go under Participants. And maybe More News, we can make this a subtab, and we would like to place it under News. Now we save our tab settings. So what we see is that now we have limited the menu to one main line, and under Participants you see Members as a subtab, and under News you see More News as a subtab. So that was tip number 2. So tip number 3 is you can change all the names of your tabs. For some of the tabs like Forum or Blogs or Events, it may seem like Ning has already chosen the names, but you can also adjust it. So you go back to My Network and to the tab managers. And for instance, if you have the Forum, but you would like to call it Exchange, you simply change the name by typing it here in the tab name, and you click on Save Tab Settings. So we click on a new tab called Exchange, but which is actually a Ning Forum setting. And now what we see is that Ning still uses the name Discussion Forum here, whereas we have changed it into Exchange. Now in Ning you can change almost all the names, and you do that by going again to your dashboard, but now you don't go to the tab manager, but you go to Language Editor. And you click on the language of your network, you click on Edit, and now you can see that you can search for a certain name, like Forum. You can see where the Forum name comes up in Ning, and you can change it. For instance, I can say I would like to have it Exchange Discussions. And then you click on, there are quite a lot. And then you click on Save Page. And then you've changed the name of Forum exchange. So make sure if you do this that you do this for all the times forum comes up. So that was tip number 3. You can change all the names of your tabs. Now tip number 4 is you may have different categories in your forum. Our forum is now called Exchange. So as you see, we now have 3 different categories. One is called coffee conversations, one question and answer, and one open space. So suppose we would like to make coffee conversations into a tab so that member can find it more easily. What I do is I copy the link to these discussions. I go back to the tab manager. I make a new tab. I call this tab Coffee Conversations. Yeah, that fits. And now I don't say I want to create a new page, but I say I would like to use an existing URL. And I paste the URL here. And I click on Save Tab Settings. So what we see now that we've created a new tab in the menu called Coffee Conversations. And when we click on it, we go straight to the category in your forum discussion. So the usefulness of this is that you can, it gives more emphasis to a certain type of discussion. And for members it may be more easy to find now the coffee conversations. Whereas otherwise it may be hidden in the exchange. So that was tip number 4. You can also link to different subcategories of your discussions. Now the last tip, tip number 5, is you can also link to external sites. Now you see here I've already linked to my blog. If I click on my blog, you will see that we go to an external site, which is my blog. And I will show you how you can easily do this. I go back to the tab manager. Yeah, here's the tab manager. And I will show you how I did this. I created a tab called Joitke's blog. And again, I used existing URL. And I typed here the URL of my blog. And what I made sure is that it opens in a new window. So I also clicked open in a new window, because that prevents that people get confused when they're suddenly on an external site and they're no longer in the Ning platform. And in this case people remain on the site, but the external site opens in a new window. And then you click on you click on Save Tab Settings. So these were my 5 tips. I hope they're helpful. I will repeat them. One is tip number 1 is you can create your own new tabs in Ning. Tip number 2 is use subtabs so that you avoid having more than one line of tabs in your main menu. Tip number 3 is you can change all the names of your tabs. Tip number 4, you can also link to subcategories of your discussion forum. And tip number 5, you can also link to external sites. So I hope this helps you in designing a very user-friendly and active Ning network. Good luck!